It is a beautiful evening on Smith Island. Look at the spot. So gorgeous. See if there's anybody out there. Hello, we have one watcher. Welcome to my sunset deck. We are live from Jack and Pickle Shanty. And there's not too many people out here tonight. Nope, not too many people out here at all. What happened? Oh no, it's still working. Oh, I thought something glitched in there. Okay, but it's good. So it is a beautiful evening. I'm just watching the ducks, the egrets. There's a lot of baby blue herrings that are out. Beautiful. I had a really good day. I went off and I went to a tax sale auction. That was fun. I did a lot of bidding and a lot of losing, but I did end up getting something. So that was quite exciting. Hello, I see two people out there watching. It is a beautiful evening at Jack and Pickles on Smith Island, and there is nobody around. It's pretty quiet. It's hot. It got really humid this afternoon, and the flies out there are bad. So if nobody's out, I don't blame them. It's too hot, too buggy right now, but it's really nice out here though. I don't have anything bothering me, at least not yet. I've got a little bit of a breeze coming through on the deck, and I've got the AC going on the inside, so I got to keep my I've got that going on, not because it's too hot necessarily in there, because it's usually cooler here on the water, but I don't want my game machines to get too hot, so put that on for them. But anyways, I went to a tax sale today. It was the first time that I'd ever gone to one. I've wanted to go for quite a while. And the last time that I had called the office, they said, we put out the list close to mid-June, so make sure you call and get the list. I didn't call. I was on the boat today, and I was like, oh my gosh, that list. So I got the list online. I was looking at it, and I'm like, okay, I see some things I like, and I asked Harry if he could take me down to the tax office. So when I went in, I was a little bit confused because the lady goes, oh, well, yeah, go sign up and get your number so that you can auction for it. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. So I went outside of the office, and the auction was today. I didn't know. So I got my number, got my bidding number, and my son happened to be off work today, which was really nice because I was able to stay over in Chrisfield to go to the auction at 1 o'clock. Terry had to leave Chrisfield, at 12:30. And then, after I bid and won something and paid for it, I came home. I got on the school boat and landed at 4 o'clock. So I think it was a good day. I was really excited. Going to a tax sale is something that I've tossed around for a long time. Just, I don't know. But this past year, I made it a goal. I saved up a good chunk of change, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm not just bidding on one. I'm going to get a couple. uh, but I got outbid. A couple of the properties, there was 2 properties on Smith Island that I bid for. I was outbid. I have no idea who actually got them. But if they think that it's someplace that they can just drive to, like St. Michael's or Deal Island, and then do a fixer-upper, they are sadly mistaken. There were so many brokers, land developers, property investors there today. The room was absolutely packed. So my chunk of change wasn't going to make a difference. There was a certain amount that I was willing to go up to on the properties that I wanted. The ones that I got outbid for on Smith Island, I had more than enough money to get them, but what they ended up going for, it's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. And I was starting to get a little bit bummed out because I had already gotten outbid 4 times. I also bid on a couple of properties over in Chrisfield. And I was like, man. I mean, a lot of these properties, they started off at like 900 or 1200. That's what the taxes were owed. But they ended up 50,000, 60,000, 80,000. One of the houses that the bid was starting at 3,400 ended up 180,000. So yeah, I ended up saving up $25,000, and that was my, I don't want to say play money because I don't intend on gambling with $25,000. I intend on investing it and doing something. So the property that I ended up getting is a half an acre lot, a really beautiful wooded lot in a nice neighborhood. So I ended up getting it for $5,000. So I could save my 20 grand for a later day, maybe go back to the tax sale next year when I've saved up a little bit more and can be in the competition a little bit better. But it was fun. I was really glad that my son was with me because his father is a land developer. At least that's what he did for a really long time. I think now he might be a broker or work for a brokerage or whatever. But when my kids were really little, my ex-husband would bring like his work programs and put them on our home computer. And one of the programs was where you could bring up every listing, tax sales, foreclosures, coming soons. I mean, you name it, it was absolutely everything. So when my kids were asleep and if I couldn't sleep at night, I would either be writing on my books and knocking out a novel, or I would be going through this program and just going through all the real estate. And I think that's when I realized I was interested. And I had made up my mind that someday I'm going to flip a property. So yeah, so I've wanted to go to a tax sale for a really long time because that was more than 20 years ago. I ended up flipping my parents' house when my dad died and my mom came to move with us to the island. As is, I had 2 different realtors come in and they told me that as is, it would have been 150,000, starting maybe 150,000. Maybe they could get but it needed a lot of work. So at that time, I had actually just settled or closed on a house that I sold on the island. And it was the very first house. It was my house that I bought when I first came to the island. It wasn't a rental. I bought it myself. I had a mortgage. And I didn't have it for too long, just, a few years. And then Terry and I, we had our house together. So when I sold that, I didn't make a whole lot of money on it, but I made just enough. I think I ended up walking away with about 23,000 like I said, not a lot of money. But what I did with the 23,000 was that I put a new kitchen into my mom's house because I decided I've got a little bit of money to play with. Let's go ahead and see if I can flip it. My mother at the time owed $35,000 on the house. It would have been paid off a long time ago, but my parents did what boomers did back then. They refinanced to fix things and, did different loans and stuff like that. So I flipped it, put in brand new kitchen. I cleaned it out. There was so much work cleaning that house. And on my channel, in my videos, you can go down a few years, you'll find those videos. It was a very hard house to clean. My mom was pretty much a hoarder, and my parents didn't really go out anywhere. They had a lot of collections. I'm an only child, so I'm my parents' only child. I'm my dad's second, but for my mom and dad, I'm their only. And I was the only one cleaning it. So it was a lot of work. However, after I got all the stuff out, cleaned up nice, painted, new kitchen, I really didn't do anything else to it that was cosmetic. Cleaned up the floors. I took up the carpets, cleaned up the wood floors, but didn't do a whole lot. The biggest cost was the kitchen. So I used all my money in the kitchen, and I hired, actually my neighbor was a contractor. My mom's neighbor was a contractor. So he did it for me, which was awesome. And I ended up flipping the house and closing. I sold it for $280,000. So after all was said and done, my 20 grand went really far into flipping that house. So after I did that one, I've kind of had the bug ever since because it's fast money. And if you're handy, which I'm really not handy. I mean, I can paint, I can take up carpet, stuff like that, but I can't do any like carpentry, or I'm not one of those women. I wish that I was, though. I wish that I knew how to handle a bunch of tools and be able to make cabinets and stuff like that, but maybe the next life. Anyways, so today, hello people in the room. It's okay to say hi. You really, really can. We're talking about real estate today. I know a couple more people just joined in. I went to my first tax sale today for properties. I bid on 5 of them and I won 1. So that's what I'm talking about right now, kind of like my flipping history and how I got interested in this. So let's see. Now Terry's got, his house is under contract. And he had asked me, well, you want to kind of flip this one? And I'm like, no, because it wouldn't have added that much more value to it. Not for the houses on Smith Island. But he did get my gears turning again. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think he's right. I think I kind of ready for another project. I think I want a project. So now I've got this half-acre lot, and right now I just hold the lien on it is what I hold. So after October, we'll see if it's actually mine. And if it is, then I gotta figure out what I'm doing with it. Hey Robin, good to see you. Yeah, so it is beautiful right now. Beautiful, beautiful evening. I hear a truck. There's not too many trucks, so I get nosy. That's what happens when you live on an island with 200 people. There's no traffic, and then when you finally hear one, you're like, oh, who's that? Yeah, what's Yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this property. It is really beautiful. It's in a very nice neighborhood. So, I mean, essentially, it's a lot in a nice neighborhood that nobody ended up buying or developing. So, I'm going to have to figure out what to do. I think that I can probably get I don't know, somebody that buys lumber out there, and they can take some of the trees off my hands or something like that, because I'm going to have to clear a little bit of it for something. Like I said, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do a cabin? Do I want to do a tiny house on wheels? Do Terry and I want to go to a builder and just have a new house built? I don't know. I just haven't thought that far because it's not officially mine. So, we have a storm coming here, Robin says. I believe it. They're definitely all over. And I thought we were going to get slammed here last night. It got so dark. Air got quite cold. And then the storm did like a lot of storms on Smith Island do, that just skirted right around. It was very interesting. And then the sun came out, and it ended up being a beautiful sunset down here for people. So yeah, it was a decent night. We really need the rain though. We had a whole lot of rain. Uh, the ground had puddles everywhere, mud. My animals were swimming in mud, but after a couple of days, that was all soaked in, and things are starting to get dry again. So rain is definitely needed and very welcome. So, where is everybody? There is 6 people out there and only 1 person in the room to say hi. What? Come on. Look. Feel my deck with me. Come on. Have some water. Watching beautiful sunsets does not have to require alcohol. Just a PSA. Anyways, so there was 1 parcel on there I was going to bid, but then I just didn't because I didn't want to embarrass myself. It was 439 acres. The taxes owed on it was $11,000. I didn't even bother to bid because all of these builders were paying way too much money just for these small little lots. So I knew that once it got to that one, yeah, my 25 grand wasn't going to do it. So I didn't even bother. I think it ended up going for still a steal. This is farmland, ag farmland. 439 acres. They got it for 111K. That is crazy. They're going to end up splitting that up so much. I would like to have that amount of cash someday to be able to buy a lot like that so that I can develop, because I think it would be very cool if my family had their own cul-de-sac. My daughter can have a house. My sons, they can have houses. You know, we'll have Bubby and T-Paw's house on the cul-de-sac. You know, we can all have our barbecues in the cul-de-sac. We can name like the streets and things in the development, the names of my kids and my grandson. The first street would be Malcolm Way. Yeah. Big dreams. You never know. You never know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do someday, but anything's possible. However, the main point I wanted to make is if you guys are wanting to flip a property, you don't have to have a whole lot of money to do it. You can get some properties that are fixable, and if you're not betting, if you're not auctioning up against bigger people that have more money to spend, then you can get something decent. And there's also a lot of properties that people don't bid on. And that's when it becomes property of the county. And they say it right there. They basically buy it and do the same thing. And then everybody has till October to do the foreclosure process. I mean, the foreclosure process starts in October. So there's like a good several months. There's a process that everybody has to go through. Like I said, at the tax office, you're paying off the taxes and then you're getting a lien. So technically, the taxes that I paid off today was $671.69. That was the taxes owed on the property. Now, once more paperwork goes out, and if those owners don't want to pay me back, because right now I hold the lien, then that means I can start the foreclosure process in October. And I have a real estate attorney that I've been using for a while. So he'll just do things for me. Nope, we never know. You never know. I keep all my options open, especially when I learn something new and I decide that, you know what, I like this actually. This is kind of cool, skill, trade, whatever. I think I'd like to know a little bit more. And like I said, I started getting interested in real estate a long time ago, more than 20 years ago when the kids were little, when I used to go through my ex-husband's, all of his computer software because he was a land developer. So yeah, it was always very, very fascinating. I've also had this dream of having a tiny cabin on wheels, Amish made tiny cabin on wheels. The one that I've spec'd out, I've wanted for a long time, even before I moved to Smith Island, because before I bought the house on Smith Island, I was weighing my options, and I was also thinking about buying already like developed lot and put my tiny house on wheels there. So that didn't happen. So I ended up coming here. Excuse me. Good thing, because this island certainly put my life together and I met the love of my life, and yeah, we're getting a very nice life over here. I cannot complain. Absolutely cannot complain. I know, Robin Down to Earth. I love tiny houses, especially when they very first started being that big craze and everybody was like going nuts. I actually took my kids to a tiny house tour. We drove, I don't even know where it was in Virginia. We went from Maryland to, it might have been around Richmond, Virginia, actually, but it was the builders. And I can't remember, I want to say they were called Caprice Tiny Homes, but I don't know if that's the one in Virginia or not, because I was talking to a couple of different builders, and then I took the kids out and we went through all the models and stuff. They're so cool. So cool. I mean, when you're in these, some of them, they're like actual cabins. They've got screened in porches. You got a fireplace on the inside. Beautiful kitchen. High ceilings. The one that I spec'd out actually had 3 bedrooms, because he had the loft bedroom and then it was 2 smaller bedrooms downstairs. Nice full bathroom, and I think it was $53,000 was the one that I was going to get. I'm still obsessed with it. I love it. I still look these things up all the time. So who knows? It's kind of been a dream to be able to get something for my son and help him out a little bit. I helped Julie out with the house that her and CJ are in now, and I'm very happy I did because it's beautiful. But I'm really glad that I'm actually in that position right now because that's all that I've ever wanted. That was all the goal ever was. If I ever got into real estate, was the money that I could make off of it so that I could just keep my family set, or so that I could find some really nice properties to fix up so that my kids don't have to worry about mortgage payments and can live a little bit easier, you know. So I build tiny houses in my mind to fall asleep instead of counting sheep. I'm serious. I usually fall asleep before I have it planned out. It works. Yeah, Robin, that's how I used to get to sleep for a long, long time. Now I just conk out because I'm go, 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 go. And now I'm out. But that's always, and I think that's a very neurodivergent trait, is to lay there and to actually be able to visualize things, plan them out, and to be able to do it day after day after day until in your mind you actually have everything completely planned out. You could even sketch it out. You got a whole blueprint. Over a period of time, once you think about this stuff over and over and over again, and it starts becoming something that you wish on, if the universe wills it, then it's manifested. Then you get it. If it serves a divine purpose in your life or in somebody else's life, then maybe, you're granted it, after you've been thinking about it for a really long time. I have to say that in my life, the stuff that I've thought about for a really, really long time, I've done every single thing so far. Really, this past 2 years, I think is when I've done the most. I was thinking on so many different things for such a long time, like wanting to go to Mount Shasta, or wanting to flip houses, or whatever it might be, going to tax sales, or just doing different things. I've thought of this stuff forever, years and years and years and years, and I don't know, all of a sudden there will be a day that comes around. It's like the spirit moves me and I just do it because I've thought on it for so long. And if the opportunity knocks and I can do it, I do it, because life is about experiences. And if there's something that I want to experience, I do it. I'm here to live my life, not just exist in it. So if it's a new skill, new trade, something else I could learn, somewhere else I could go, I don't know. That's what life is about. Being able to enjoy what you've got, Hey, John. Oh, thank you. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Trade it a little bit. I just can get the good sunset view. Yeah, no, it's good to see you guys on here. See, nice, relaxing chat. That's what Jack and Pickles is all about. If you all do not know what our slogan is, you ready for it? When life is jacked and you can't dill. Yeah, when life is jacked and you can't dill, come to Jack and Pickles and chill out. Oh, this is fabulous. Oh my gosh. You guys see this? Oh. Breeze feels fabulous. It is so humid here, so to be on the water and have this breeze like that, this is beautiful. I hope that we have a nice breeze continuing through the weekend. It should be pretty busy. All tour boats are going to be in full swing Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully we'll have a lot of day trippers, because that's how you turn a buck around here during tourist season. the full tour boats don't start until school is out, and I don't think that the Somerset County kids are out until the 23rd, which is really late in June to get out of school. When they're finally out of school, then the school boat, big catamaran, because it's also the tour boat, that's when it can do the day trips. Obviously, if they're running, kids back and forth to school, they can't do the day trips yet. So everybody's business around here is slow during the week until the big boats really start running, the day trippers. And also, when the kids let out of school, that's when you really see a lot of tourists spending the night over here, a lot of families. The island is semi-alive now, but it still feels like we're pre-gaming. Everything opens up after Memorial Weekend, but then we go through this period where we're kind of like in pre-gaming for 2.5 weeks or so until it's officially summertime and the kids are out of school. Then it gets busy, and then it gets really busy. By the time August, it hits mid-August, people start getting, you start winding down. You're working in the heat, you're doing a lot. Most of us here do multiple jobs during tourist season. I clean, I manage a bed and breakfast, not a bed and breakfast, Airbnb. I've been doing that for a while. So I clean, I manage that for him, take care of things. And then I'm one of the librarians, so I have my job at the library, and then I'm down here, and if anybody needs like additional help, if they can't find like their regular cleaner and they need a substitute or something, they'll usually call me, and I can fill in for them, that type of thing. But a lot of people wear multiple hats. The same guys that are running the sewer plants, or the incinerator, they're also mowing lawns, they're working at other places, they're working on people's houses. There's there's a lot of odd jobs, so people are always switching out their hats. But that's also tourist season. We work really, really hard during tourist season because that's where the biggest bucks are coming in. It's tourist town. That's how it works. Teresa, hey, good to see you. Robin says, I would like to take a vacation. I'd have to find a dog sitter. Oh, you see, you just touched on the big thing there. I know. This is another reason that Terry and I actually could go off more often than we do. But we've got Annie. We've got now 4 goats, 40 chickens. It's a lot. If we can just get off for a night and my best friend is here, she's happy to watch them. But if my best friend and I want to go off with Terry, because sometimes we all just want to go off. We're all friends. We all just want to go off to the beach and have lunch and come back or whatever, or just get a couple rooms while it's still cheap, stay the night. That way we can actually have a boardwalk experience into the evening and then come back the next morning. She's got 2 border collies, and they basically have her where she can't go and do anything. Because she's new here and everybody's new to the border collies, they don't know anybody else well enough yet to be, watching them. So her and I are trying so hard to coordinate when we can actually go do something at the beach and not have to worry about the dogs. I've looked up places that will take animals, but how do you take 2 border collies to an Airbnb or to a hotel room? I mean, come on. We're not bringing 2 kennels and keeping them in kennels. So Yeah, we got to figure something out. But yes, getting a vacation when you have animals is so hard. It's so hard. And if you want to put them in one of the bigger, you know, boarding places or kennels towards the beach, you are paying big time. But I wouldn't do that because I know that Annie would be, she would be bawling her eyes out all night, and there's no way I could do that to her. She would be afraid we're not coming back. And Annie's adopted. She's lost two people in her life already. So I wouldn't want to do that to her. I'd be so afraid that she would just have like a heart attack and think that we're just putting her somewhere to leave. And poor girl. Every time I've asked about boarding, I was told they have to have been boarded before, but how? Darned if I know, because I've never done that before. Not with any of the dogs I've ever had. I never did that. I'm wondering if you got something from like an obedience school, maybe they would, maybe then they'd take the dog. They'd almost, because if they're asking if they've been, or they want them to be boarded before, then I guess it's really a tolerance factor for the dog and for them to know what it is. So I guess I do get that. Obedience school. Yeah, yeah. Put your big mutt in obedience school. There's a few people I'd like to put in obedience school. But I think the dogs would probably listen better. I gotta be pretty honest. Anyways. Anyways, look at this. So beautiful. I love it when the sun comes down just right and you just see a million sparkles all along the water. And then over here, this is the shallow part that's in front of me. It's actually where my cameras are. And you can see the snowy egrets, and you can see the little baby blue herons walking around. So cool. When these egrets walk, they don't even make a ripple. It's amazing. And then when they scan like this with their head, they scan the water, and then bam, when they go in to get their catch, you barely see, there's hardly a ripple in the water. It's amazing. It's amazing. I think nature is so fascinating, so perfectly designed. Sanity is overrated. Nice to see you. I've got a bunch of seagulls flying by right now. Yes, it is beautiful. Very nice, peaceful night. It has been insanely hot, very, very humid today. But right now, I've got this beautiful breeze hitting me right here. There it goes. It's keeping the bugs away, and it's keeping me cool. I was definitely, I don't really sweat. I'm not like a sweaty type of person, but that humidity today was working on me. I was getting it. It was like all under my nose, was on my forehead. Like I was actually starting to get to the point where I was feeling too hot. Like I couldn't cool down. Teresa says, I see, but next project should be hatching peafowl. They would be lovely on the island. Huh. All right, Teresa, I will look that up. I've never considered that. I'll look that up and I'll see what I think. I like it. Good idea. Hey, I'm always willing to try something new and expand on what I've already got. I've got this beautiful homestead. Um, I didn't put any fertilized eggs to hatch this year, not in the incubators, because I was really tired of incubating like 3 or 4 rounds of them the past few seasons and ending up with so many roosters. So I decided not to do that this year. Instead, Terry went to Tractor Supply, and he got me. They were already sexed. They were bantams, and I told him to pick up 4 because you have to buy 4. You can't buy less than 4. He came home with 9. So one of them died though. She was sick, but I do have now 8 healthy pullets. Going to be hens. And my broody silky, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 silky hens. Cleo, she's my original one. For you guys that have been watching me forever, she's my gray silky, and I've had her since 2020. Since our wedding got canceled in 2020, she was a consolation gift from my friend Samantha, and God rest her soul. She passed away last year, and it was very, 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 very sudden. She was younger than me, and so my silky, I hatched a couple of her offspring, and now one of hers is sitting on about 7 eggs right now. 5 of them are silky eggs. So when I saw that she was sitting on a bunch of them, even though I might end up with roos, if it's silky roos, I don't really mind, because most of them that I've had end up kind of being miniature, and they're absolutely adorable. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just, let her do her thing. So those should be what? These storms are packing wind and tornadoes these days. Insanity says, Robin, it's slamming rain against the windows. I'm surprised you guys keep the internet service when you all have storms like that. If even if I'm in Crisfield, if we've got crazy storms that go through, it messes with the internet. So the fact that you can still like watch my live stream with all that going on, it's pretty good. We are praying for rain in South Carolina. Duck flew in, scared me. Teresa says that they're praying for rain in South Carolina. I believe it. There's so many parts that are so dry that need rain really badly. Robin says, awesome June, as long as no one gets hurt. Just love a good storm with hot coffee or tea. I'm typing like a country girl. I'm so tired. It's okay. I don't know. The heat can get to anybody, make you very, very tired. I agree, though. I love a nice summer thunderstorm. I love it when it releases the steam off of the road and off of the grass, and you get all of those smells from the grasses. And I love it when over here, the marsh, they release their own salty bay air. Sometimes it stinks. Sometimes we call them marsh farts because it smells like rotten eggs. Sometimes. But a lot of the time it just has this really sweet, salty bay air smell after a really nice rain. I love that. And I love being in here in the shanty when it's raining, because we have a metal roof, and the rain on the metal roof reminds me of when I stayed at my grandfather's cabin in Maine. I was 10 years old, and it had an impact on me. There was a big thunderstorm that came in, and I was sleeping in the upstairs attic room of his cabin. So I was right there with the metal roof. Oh my gosh, it sounded like an orchestra. I couldn't get enough, and it ended up lulling me to sleep. It was so beautiful. The fact that my grandfather had such a cool cabin in Maine, and about 1,000 hummingbirds everywhere. He had the best feeders up for them and everything. All the streams there, him taking me to the side of the mountain with our jugs to get fresh water out of the side of the mountain. All of those things impacted me so much. I mean, they left such everlasting memories, and I've wanted a little piece of that lifestyle ever since. So I think my getting this lot today, if it does end up being mine, I probably I probably will do what I wanted to do years and years ago, and get a cabin kit, or get, like I said, a cabin on wheels, something like that. Um, there's something so simple. This is beautiful here. Don't get me wrong. I love waking up, not hearing traffic, not hearing the highway. I love not having factory smells. I love listening to the seagulls when I wake up, and just hearing the breeze, and the water and the shifting of the boats, and just all of that is so beautiful. I love it. But I live here. I live here full time. So my want to get away on vacation, yes, we very much love going to Ocean City and all that, dinner, all that. But when I want downtime, I want a cabin. I want woods. I want it to be peaceful. I want my fire pit out back where I can toast my kosher marshmallows. I want plenty of land there so that I can clear to be able to bring my own animals there if I want to. If I don't want to be here, all winter long, but instead want to stay in my cabin for a week when I know it's going to snow, just so that I can have my fireplace during a snow and look out the window and get that whole experience. Oh yeah, I will do that. So I don't know. I'll think about it. Like I said, it's not mine yet. I just hold the lien. That's it. So we'll see what happens. And I'll probably go back again next year. I'll just roll my money, and I'll save like another, I don't know. That 25 grand actually took me, I think I was able to save almost like a 10 grand a year and put stuff aside. So if I can try to save another 10 grand this year and then go back next year, then I get a little bit more playing room. So we'll see what happens. Robin says, as long as we have internet, I could survive. I could survive without it, Robin. I've got to be honest with you. I could survive without the internet. I can. I mean, come on. We come from such a simpler time. 80s and early 90s. We didn't need it. Like, we passed notes, or we got together somewhere. Or we'd actually talked on the phone, or we actually had, like, people actually had organic FaceTime, like hang out, before internet. So I don't think internet is necessarily all for the best. I hope you're kidding. Oh, thank you, Sanity. So it took me a little while to realize. So I had to get into my 5G internet, and that's what I have my live cameras running off of. For anybody that loves watching beautiful scenic views. If you would be able to get a picture of this every night, all day, 24/7, and if you would like to get some other views, like from this side, or views of the restaurant over there and their boats, you can get on the live cams. I will make sure to link them in the comments again. I did it the last live, and then my last live ended so abruptly I didn't know what happened, so I just deleted it. Because I don't know what happened. And I don't know exactly when I got cut off either, and I didn't feel like rewatching it. So I had the links in that old one, but I'll make sure to put the links in this one because it's beautiful scenic views. Forgotten way of life. It is, John. It is a forgotten way of life, and it's sad that it's forgotten because there's so much peace with that. There really is. There's so much peace. My father used to say to me all the time, he used to say, you know what? I could see myself being a hermit. And I can understand after a while, you just kind of get sick of people. And my dad had an amazing personality. Very, very jocular guy. But he got to a point where even he just didn't want to handle people. And I think he would have rather gone out into get him some kind of little tiny house somewhere. It was definitely a discussion. When I was searching for all of them and everything, I was showing my dad all the time, and he absolutely couldn't believe that you could get such a thing built and delivered on wheels. So it's pretty cool. I'm not sure where the conversation's going, but let's try to all be nice. Would you like to have a house by the lake? Is that what you're saying? Being by any body of water is so calming and so peaceful. Definitely. I would really like it if I had some woods that actually had a stream on it. That would be really nice because that's like how I grew up when I was a kid. Always playing with the minnows and the crayfish and everything else, running through the woods, all of that, playing in the stream. John, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Yes, some things don't change. Some things never will. It doesn't matter if you give support, advice. People that just want to do what they want to do are going to do it. And when they have no shame about all of it, then they're not going to care what anybody says. It's sad. And I have to say, I've encountered a lot of people like that, especially on the internet. What are you going to do, though? You can only pray for people and, pray that they figure it out, pray for their safety, pray for their health. But there's really not much else that you can do. If there's somebody that that's going down a wrong path and you've tried for years to steer them in the right direction, if they're not going to do it, then you just need to walk away. That's my advice. That's my solid advice. Otherwise, you're just throwing pearls to swine. And I mean that in terms of a biblically, the actual quote. And what it means is you're giving your goodness away. You're giving all your things good to somebody that doesn't appreciate it. They don't know that you're giving them pearls. They don't know that you're giving them something that's valuable. they're just going to twist it and say, I can do what I want to do. You're trying to control me. There's a lot of people out there like that. So it is what it is. It's sad, but no, I think a lot of people haven't watched for a very long time because it's very, very toxic. It's extremely toxic. And for anybody that is out there watching just to like try to egg on the behavior, that's a toxic trait too. Like nobody should want to see that type of disturbing alcoholism. It's disturbing. It's painful to watch. It's sad. So, walk away. Sometimes you just have to walk away. And it doesn't mean, tell them to go in grace. Doesn't mean you hate them. Doesn't mean you're going to say anything about them. Doesn't mean you're going to be mean to them. It doesn't even mean you're going to try to give them advice anymore. You should already know how they're going to take it. So at that point, after years of the same old pattern, everybody should have pattern recognition by this point. Walk away. There's other channels out there that should have pattern recognition about channels that they defend all the time, but they don't. What are you going to do? Some people are going to go with their narrative and they're going to die on that hill, and, well, just let them die on that hill. I mean, what are you going to do? If people don't want the truth, if they're not interested in what's true, if they're not interested in real receipts, if they're not interested in fact, they don't care. They're only interested in running their narrative. And they will take anything that you say or do and twist it to justify why they don't like you. And that's because they're too shallow to admit that they're shallow and just don't like you for no reason. So I've dealt with that too. Some people have dealt with that, and they just kind of make up other things, like I said, to try to justify, oh, she did this, they said that. No, sorry, it didn't happen that way. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? At the end of the day, these people don't pay my bills, and they're not helping me get to heaven, so I don't care. At the end of the day, the stuff, the verbiage it's a verbal diarrhea, and it's not, none of it's true, so it's not going to bother me. Literally none of it's true, so it's not going to bother me. And it doesn't. I mean, look where I live. Look at this. I cannot be bothered by the outside world when I'm here. Oh, how is my grandson? Thank you for asking. He is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. He just turned a whole month old. I can't believe it. A whole month already. He is so, so sweet. He started out looking like almost identical to Julie's baby pictures. And then he's changed a little bit. And I'm like, wait a minute. I definitely see CJ now. I see Daddy. And then he kind of switched again. And now he's just a perfect combination of both of them. He's so cute. And he's so sweet. He's a really good baby. A really good baby. Excuse me, get dry. And CJ's got his paternity leave going on for a little while longer, which is great. Julie's got, I think, a whole other, she gets another 6 weeks. He got 6 and she got 12. So they both had some nice time to spend together, get their new family routine down, all of that. I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of all of my kids. And William, he started his new job For all of my OGs that have followed William, for anybody that we know that doesn't know, so Will is autistic and he's level 2. For a long time when he was a little boy, he was nonverbal. School was very difficult. Dealing with IEPs, dealing with 504s, meetings, all of that stuff. Very, very hard. He had a hard time. So seeing him settled in a brand new job where he loves getting up to work every day, and he's working 9 to 5 and off on weekends, and he's driving himself, and he's got his car, and he's got his own place, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And then Colin, my youngest, you guys know Colin. He just graduated from the academy a couple weeks ago. Got his badge, got his certificate. So I'm just super proud. I like my cup is running over. I don't mean to brag so much on my kids, but I can't help it. I'm so proud of them. I'm glad everybody's doing well. And you all know, like parents out there, you all know, like when the kids are good, mom is good. We're good. I'm happy to see everybody on chat having a nice time. Watching beautiful place. Is there anybody else out there who would like to pop into this chat? It's okay to say hi. There is nobody in this chat that's going to say anything offensive to you. Aw, good to hear that, John. What's the weather like there, John? You all need rain too? Or did we already go over that? Like everybody needs rain. Going up to see if I missed that or not. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up on my chat. I didn't know if I missed anything. Oh, here you go. Hot today, and yes, we could use some rain. Yeah, like everybody. It's concerning. It's concerning. Yep. But anyways, what time is it? Is it 8 o'clock? I'm gonna go home because there's nobody here. Wind's picking up. It is getting darker in that direction. So maybe, just maybe, we've talked the rain up. Maybe. Yep, it's dark. I think it might be raining. I think it might get ready to rain. I hope so. You didn't get your old lady nap today? You need to be on Jack and Pickles' Shanty deck in one of these rocking chairs and just have the breeze hit you and knock you right out. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening to me blab on and on and on about my real estate ventures and my first property that I got at the auction. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. The reason why I'm excited is because, it's like I said, this is something that I've thought about for a really long time. And then when I went there today, implemented, and really enjoyed it, I was like, this is good. This is good. So, oh, wait, I hear children. I hear children. I think children might be coming to Jack and Pickles. Guess I'm not going anywhere, but I definitely need to get off live. So this is where I'm going to say good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, for talking to me, and for enjoying the beautiful scenery. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I link the channel link, because the live cams on my Shanty, they're not mine. It's actually it's a different channel owner. So I'm going to make sure to link that so that you guys can watch the live cams 24/7 and get plenty of beautiful Smith Island scenery. All right, everybody. This is Jack and Pickles Vlogs or Petite Fireball saying good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Bye. Bye, guys.